What up, Neos, and welcome to part 2 of the video game plot summary of Marc Ecko's Getting Up, Contents Under Pressure. That's a lot still. Where we last left off, Trane, aka Trane, made it into Gabe's lair. Gabe is the leader of the Vandals, who is the graffiti crew that had one member who was unnamed really, that cracked Trane over the head with a 2x4 at his moment of darkest despair. Which leads to a chain of events of knuckleheadedry that can only be matched in a few other video game plots. Anyway, he made it into Gabe's lair and started spraying over all of his stuff in a demasculating manner. Then was caught by Spleen and Gabe's girlfriend, whose name I can't remember for some reason, because she's probably not part of the plot very well. When he beats Spleen, he heads out the door, asks what's-her-face, Rosario Dawson, why she ain't messing with him and she's messing with Gabe instead. We all know the answer is because Gabe has money. He's got a cool voice though, seriously. Better than Trane's. Anyway, let's get back to the story. Yo, before we even get into the video game plot summary, I gotta tell you this. First of all, I said Rosario Dawson because she's credited as being the voice of Tina, which is the lady I had to look up, the girlfriend of Gabe. But Tina also has a different voice. Like, she's got two voices. There's a Rosario Dawson and there is a Moon Daly. Two voices for one character. I don't know what's up with that. Also, what I'm playing right now is the trailer for the movie that hasn't even been developed yet. They make a little short film, which is basically a shot for shot of the intro of the video game. They're trying to get people interested in it. The last video that's posted was January 2023, which is like the beginning of this year, which is crazy to me. And Marc Ecko's trying to get his property off the ground, you know what I mean? Which, you know, I wish him all the luck in the world. I would like to see this show, but I would like to see if they addressed a lot of the dumb stuff that makes it not make sense to me. And what dumb stuff you say? Well, there's a couple of dumb things in the beginning, and now we're about to go through all the dumb stuff towards the end. Let's get moving. Later, the mayor is on the news showing off new CCK foot soldiers. And Cry 1 brings White Mike to the hideout and has him join the crew.
It's chill, Trane. Meet my man, White Mike. This dude's got my back so many times I can't even tell you. He's crazy with the fist game.
Oh, word? So you want to ride with us, huh? Well, let's ride. Still free crew.
If you cries, homie, then you my homie. And if anybody fucks with the still free crew, they fitting have to deal with Renegade White Mike.
What the? Do neither of these guys remember each other from the pool yard? I mean, he sprayed over your name. He called you a fat ass, man. You was about to get on his butt or something like that. You don't remember none of that crap? Renegade White Mike. What? I know Trane cut his hair and everything, but he still looks like Trane.
Later, Trane.
What's with you, old man?
I've been seeing you up all over. Beefing with Gabe and them. SFC, right? What? Now you got a crew? You ain't serious.
I am serious.
You see what's happening in the city? They're coming down on writers as an excuse to take away everybody's rights.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Illuminati.
Hey, you really want to make the CCK squirm?
I'm listening.
The mayor's created these new, silver cards that are supposed to be graph-proof, right? You want to rub the pup's nose in it? You down?
I'm down.
But the moment the old man and Trane hit the streets, Trane sees that the Vandals have covered the walls up with stencils. Still fake crew. I don't know why he didn't see that coming. But it ticks him off because he thinks stencils are cheap. The old man sets him straight, for real.
You so busy writing, you ain't reading.
Reading?
Every man for himself then. Later.
What's funny is, by this point in the game, Trane has upgraded his arsenal to posters and using a paint roller. So he's gonna be hating on stencils for some reason, like the paint roller isn't easy mode over here, you know? I've always thought of the paint roller as being pretty easy. You put in the blocky letters and then you try to do something pretty interesting with it. But at the end of the day, you're still working right angles. It's not like you're doing any sort of super masterpiece stuff. No hate, but man, how you gonna be mad about the stencils if you're over there using the paint roller for real? Like, let's get it together, Trane, man. Jeez. You're killing me with this shit. Just do something back. You just painting your name all over the place. Why don't you hit him up with a Vandal's name? How about you call him the Vermin? The Vermin of New Radius. That might make sense, right? So with Decoy's new mission, Trane heads to the train station and through the train yard, only to find that Decoy is mad proficient, yo.
Yo, took you so long.
1, 2, 3, 5. This Decoy dude, he's up like crazy. Now that's bombing. You know him?
I think that this train is a little slower than the other ones. Then, a few rail tracks later, he sees the graffiti artist Scene painting a whole train car.
Oh shit, Trane. I heard about you. You're the one beefing with Gabe.
Yo, one day, I'm gonna be doing top to bottoms just like you seen.
Nowadays, they clean the trains as fast as we can bomb them. They got those buffer machines. If they could keep them silver, the days of whole car top to bottoms may
Y'all
be
see
over.
about that.
All right. If you're sick enough to go through the buffer machine, then you probably do have what it takes to do a whole car top to bottom.
Scene is the godfather of graffiti. Him and his crew, named the United Artists, would paint a whole train car from top to bottom, just like Trane said. He's ill, and he also does tattoos. So Trane hops in the train cleaning facility, and instead of figuring a way to break the machinery so that the graffiti lasts longer on the trains, which is what I thought was the point, he just makes his way through the cleaning facility and jumps on a train that has already been cleaned. And then when it goes out, he does his own top to bottom, but all by himself. I guess it kind of made it look like Scene did everything by himself as well, but it seems that he had a crew helping him in reality.
May I ask you, sir, what do you think about the new graffiti-proof cars?
Well, as long as it doesn't affect my taxes, I think it's a fine idea.
Jack, did you get that on camera? Revive, rebuild, not so new anymore, as it appears that once again graffiti writers have beat the system. These self-proclaimed street artists continue to defy the mayor's anti-graffiti campaign. When reached for comment,
Trane. Isn't that supposed to be spelled Train? What's an SFC?
Just another attention-starved vandal, sir. I can assure you Vandal Squad has leads on the inside with all these gangs.
I want this disease eradicated. Do it.
Damn, T-Kid, this is all you?
What up, son? What you rock, my brother?
Trane, yo, but how do you do all the shading? And all those colors?
Can control, baby. Look, Dory's alone won't cut it. You gotta evolve. You gotta do characters. Bust out a mural or two.
I do a little, but...
You know, show off your skills. This is real street art, my brother. Go big. But remember, more color, more detail, more time. So don't rush and play yourself.
T-Kid does Trane's too. Most of his work consists of him doing letters for most of the artwork and then an actual drawing of something. He talked a lot about can control in his speech. I would be interested to see what he does for that. Some of the videos that I've watched with other graffiti artists, you can control the spray can by switching out the caps to the spray cans.
Much respect. I can't even hate on you. Sung as a ventriloquist? That's retarded.
Yeah? Thanks, yo.
What the fuck? This rider's bench is Van R territory. Decoy, you see this
Easy,
shit?
Gabe. He's with me.
Bullshit! He's disrespecting me.
Me? You, bitch. You been giving me heat since Jump Street and going over damn near every piece I do. You and your crew. I seen them stencils.
Stencils? What are you talking about?
You's a lying bitch.
Hey, you boys want to battle? We can battle. 1-on-1. Let's settle this.
Anyway, with his speech on can control, I think it opens up Trane's ability to paint murals faster. So when he has his challenge with Gabe, he can win. I like the battle between Gabe and Trane because if you're losing or winning, the guys say different stuff.
Karen Light, live, with an exclusive breaking story from the NNR News Customers. Just outside the new Radius tunnel where 2 graffiti writers are putting their lives at risk. I have word now that the CCK squad has been called in and is en route. We'll be standing by to see how it all unfolds.
The only problem is the game forces music on you. I turned the music all the way down, but in all the cutscenes the music is on, so it makes it hard to do this review.
CCK, run!
I was about to say, this graph life has gotten these knuckleheads into thinking that they can just roll out there in broad daylight and paint up a complete wall mural while rappelling up and down a wall without consequence? Really? Alright, now that I've got you guys here, this has always bothered me. I never get a chance to look at the murals and it's hard to find them online. You know what I mean? So the only way that I can look at the murals here in this scene is to pause the video and look at it. So let's do that. Okay, Gabe's is pretty dope. It's just, you know, Gabe 33 Van R. That's his typical bravado, his typical braggadocio sort of stuff. That's fine. All right, let's see what Trane's looks like. Okay, it's been darkened out for some reason. I think that's a little sus. So let me go ahead and use the power of my computer to brighten it up and I'm starting to think that Trane is kind of infatuated with Gabe. Like, there is no reason why Trane should go after Gabe so much. Gabe wasn't even introduced into the game until Trane tried to write over his graffiti at the pool yard. And then Gabe X'd him out for doing that, which makes them even, correct? But Trane just decided it wasn't even. Then he went into Gabe's lair and then he just started slandering him. Like it's one thing if you're just writing your name over things, you know, or saying that somebody's a toy. It's another if all your artwork is directed at calling Gabe a little man baby, a dude with a small schlong. You're gonna piss on him. You're gonna steal his girl, and now you're making him some sort of cheap man whore. Like, what is going on, Trane? Is there something we need to address? Maybe Decoy can talk to you about that crap. It's just every chance he gets, he's like, hey, yo, you know, Gabe wears diapers, yo. Gabe is the lamest dude I know, yo. Gabe is a horrible person, yo. Leader of a stupid ass crew, yo. What the hell is that? Violated and never respected. Dude, Gabe said nothing about Trane on his artwork. He's just sitting there. You can see he's looking over there like,
what the fuck?
It's ridiculous. So Trane goes to the abandoned carnival and puts his name on the water tower and catches up to Gabe.
The head of the Vandal Squad, Aunt Beth, a.k.a. the crazy bag lady. She had been watching us the whole time under the skies. It was a rumble for the ages. Anybody gonna strangle you is me.
Oh, this bitch is no joke. Ooh, a tag team. I love a menage a...
What the hell was her disguise? What, was she White Mike? So Gabe and Trane put that fusion dance on Beth.
Come on to spin, you fat ass. Oh, God. Ooh, that's juicy. Oh.
Who wants floppy sex?
Okay.
She, what the? A chisel marker. Fat caps. They set us up. They were playing us.
The boys be like, huh? It was cops all along, yo. As if they weren't being outwardly oppressed by the cops the whole damn time the game was going on. There is a curfew. People get beat up by nightsticks, by cops in riot gear wearing orange. And it looks like they were trying to get the cops' attention the whole time. That's why Trane got kicked out of his grandmother's house in the first place. I guess they were living in such an oppressive state that they felt they couldn't do anything about it. I'm glad we have cell phones that can record videos. Wait, they had cell phones back then? What the hell? Anyway, so SFC and Gabe go into hiding for a while. Apparently, the CCK are on the streets whooping the graph artists and gangs. The police chief, played by the legendary Batman actor Adam West, R.I.P., tells everyone in a press conference that they are going to crack down harder.
Eradicating these criminals will pave the way for our mayor's urban renewal project. Who doesn't want for a clean city we can all be proud of?
They finna gentrify the city, yo. Sorry, but this would be a good time for old man Yusef to come in. And gentrification is when people live in a poor neighborhood, and then people with more money decide they will deal with poor people so that they can afford a nicer house. Then, the more money people join up with poor people that want a better place to live, and they work hard to make it happen. Once the place gets better, then richer people come through, do the same thing. And after a while, people who originally lived there or bought a house to live there forever as a more money person are having a hard time trying to afford living in the same place. The capitalists come in, buy up all the land and put up crappy houses and apartment buildings that look solid but are made of cardboard. It's like this unstoppable monster where people are being priced out of places that they invested in just because they want to have a nice community for their children. In this story, it seems like the mayor's goal is to be in charge of a richer city. But first, he has to attract richer people, and that's hard to do with graffiti all over the place. The problem with corporate art like this game is that it needs to tell a story that resonates with the viewer. You always have to cater to your middle and lower demographic without vilifying yourself, your sponsors, and your rich friends. So we always end up with these washed out stories that open up a dialogue for about 2 seconds, and then it takes it someplace so out there that you have no clue what the heck just happened. Like, how did we even get to an abandoned amusement park? Why is Gabe there? Why are we fighting some big old androgynous CCK person with a mullet? How did we get here again? I mean, I like Marc Ecko's stuff, but I could never afford any of his shirts, and he had the license on superheroes back in the day. So for him to just flip around and make some sort of video game based off of poor people who can't afford his stupid shirts is ridiculous. Hell, I bet you if you wanted a still-free hoodie from Trane's collection, that should have cost you $150 or something, man. Still free my ass. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue.
Chief Hunt will be
Sick of being locked up and hiding.
in one of the fleet to be unveiled
Fuck
at the
the
highly
mayor.
anticipated
Then the devs just steal a scene from one of those shows where the detectives are looking at a board full of suspects. I mean, look at this crap. Trane ain't got no coffee maker up in there. You can't see through those windows, and even if you could, we know this view is just a bunch of bums sleeping in a schoolyard. Anyway, Gabe feels some kind of way, probably because he thought Trane was going to give him coffee. Trane admits that he's a drug addict and he's addicted to aerosol spray. I guess it's better than huffing the paint with the bums down there. Because Gabe was jealous about that coffee, he hits the freeway with Trane for a good old-fashioned schlong measuring contest. They paint up the whole freeway and run into Shepard Ferry, the Obey guy. You know, Andre the Giant, Barack Obama hope. I mean, he's pretty successful. Of course, he's like,
you know, a little wheat paste glue, a squeegee, some posters, and you could become the city's best ad agency.
Which is my favorite way of doing things. Make the artwork at home and put it up in like 10 seconds. And Trane accepts the challenge and changes the message on the CCK propaganda billboard. Nice. I'm willing to bet that's why the government doesn't advertise on billboards and posters anymore for real. So Gabe and Trane keep beating up CCK and marking up public property, including signs that give pertinent information like what exit to take when this happens.
Trane, shit, I'm falling!
Gabe, steady.
I ain't trying to see a wheelchair!
I ain't trying to see a wheelchair. What? My dude, you will die on impact and get run over by a car. Closed casket with your wheelchair. With your broke ass. Literally. I think that was a pretty good joke. So after they mark the freeway up, they run into the Wrong Way Assassins. Everybody in this game has a hard name to say except for Trane. I thought we were fitting to fight because, you know, Trane and Gabe just went over WWA's whole territory. But Trane drops Decoy's name, and they're like, "You that little dude Decoy was talking about, yo?" The WWA is concerned that Trane and Gabe's ignorance will bring more heat down on the other graph riders. But it's okay because Trane is going to be a ninja while he paints his name all over everything. Makes sense. By the way, I'm prepping you now. One of the main reasons I like this plot is because it's absolute garbage. It's like one of those situations where the writers paint themselves into a corner, pun intended. So, Trane and Gabe split from each other, which is a little sus on Gabe's part. Trane climbs up the elevator shaft and starts giving blue-collar workers concussions with spray paint cans upside the head. Seriously, it's like 20 of them. Once Trane gets to the top, he quietly does the most unsubtle thing he could possibly do. Then he moves to painting the actual trams. I mean, he is awesome, but dang, man. You want to talk about bringing the heat down on graph artists. So these guys are so stealth, the news helicopter lands right next to them. Karen Light, the news anchor, comes out for an interview.
Ain't us. But give me some airtime and maybe I could dig something up.
Deal. Take my card. It's an 800 number.
Gabe is smart enough to ask for the faces to be covered up, but he ain't that smart.
We gotta do what we gotta do to defend ourselves. The CCK are chasing us down like we're murderers. We ain't out to hurt nobody.
If that's true, why is Mayor Sung so intent on wiping out all the graph crews?
People are gonna eventually wise up in this city and realize Sung and the CCK are nothing but a bunch of con men. They trying to get us to destroy each other. Still free, Mr. Mayor. What?
Yeah! VANR, what? It's our city too. Who's next? Maybe it'll be you, Miss Light.
Okay.
So after that, Trane gets KO'd himself and taken to an underground lair.
Where am I?
Your grandma never told you how your pops died, did she?
What? You knew my pops?
Me and your father used to run the streets, man. It was a survival thing. You couldn't help but get mixed up in some crazy shit back then. Hustling to put food on the table for you and your grandmother. It eventually caught up to him. Always does. And that's when I met him. In prison.
Prison? So he died in jail?
No, trying to get out. I managed to cop him a get out of jail free card. Let him know as soon as the call came in. It was his time to cash it in. How could he say no? Song's got skeletons in his closet and there's gotta be more. I know I can't.
Can't what?
I can't prove it. But that's why I do this. I gotta stay in his face. I can't be on some just talking about DECOY shit. You understand now? They know I know, even though they don't know where I am. It's cat and mouse with them. If I ever got made, I'm a dead man.
What are you saying?
You don't know half the dirt Sung's got under his fingernails. You think he's just doing all this to get paint off the walls? He's on some straight manipulate the masses shit.
You can't be serious.
Still free, Mr. Mayor. What? Why'd you have to go and make it so hot with that news fiasco? Just because they blacked out your face? You think they can't see you? Aren't you overdoing it a little?
Overdoing it? Imagine if it was them instead of me that found you in your toy-ass nursery school. Then, if they get you to talk, 99% chance they got a file on your ass at CCK headquarters. Gabe, too.
A file? You bugging.
You think so? Check it out, then.
Maybe I will.
You wanna get up? Huh? You wanna be all city? Huh? Fame, right? Well, now you're famous, son. Good luck getting out.
Quit talking down to me.
Your father'd be spinning in his grave if he saw this.
All right, everybody, that's good enough. We're gonna stop there and finish it up next week. Sorry, I was hoping to make it a two-parter, but there's a little bit going on about gentrification that I thought was quite interesting. Once Trane and Gabe started becoming part of the system, because remember, they're just a couple of anonymous knuckleheads running around fighting each other. Now we're in a point where whatever is not fair is starting to bleed into the true motives of Mayor Sung and everything like that. And of course, gentrification is behind it because Mayor Sung wants to be the mayor of a better city. He doesn't want to move to a different city and be a mayor there. He wants to take the city that he has and turn it into something that can benefit his pockets, obviously. But yeah, it's gentrification. I think gentrification is interesting. That's why I stopped to talk about it. I mean, like I said before, and a couple of other things, we're going through gentrification in our neighborhood, so I'm seeing it happen in real time. And I've also seen graffiti that goes against gentrification specifically. And that graffiti stayed there for years. Like, I went to Germany in Bremen, and they had a graffiti in Spanish, because they were from Spain. Spaniards came there, and they were living in that neighborhood, going to the schools, and my aunt decided to buy a place in this area, and then it became gentrified and pushed all those people out. But they kept the graffiti because Germans don't get rid of anything, you know. And I saw it when I went there close to the beginning of my marriage, and then years and years and years. It was a 13-year marriage. Every time we went back there, the same gentrification graffiti was there. Didn't see any body of a different color other than white there, so I guess that's for the win. There was a couple of Turkish people there. Who knows? No Spaniards, though. Nobody speaking Spanish. The graffiti was in Spanish. It's very weird. But anyway, we'll see you guys on the next video game plot summaries. Yeah, you guys saved me like Neo saved Agent Smith. Thank you very much. And yeah, next week. Peace.